to open it up with the biggest discussion about next year's Grammys is how The Weeknd, the biggest artist of the year, didn't receive any nominations, not a single one. How do you feel about that, Marco?
Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, we've been talking about The Weeknd a lot on this channel, and I mean, we've even said that he's our top pick for Artist of the Year. And the fact that he didn't receive any nominations is just insane. I mean, he was like the most streamed artist of 2020, and he had hits like with Blinding Lights and Heartless, and the whole After Hours album was just really great. And the fact that he didn't receive anything like that is just ridiculous to me. What about you?
Yeah, I thought that was just weird because, you know, I knew that because it was The Weeknd and because After Hours was so good and because the Grammys has a history of not picking the right album of the year, they were probably going to snub him of that nomination. But I didn't think that they wouldn't nominate him for record, song, R&B, but we'll get into the R&B category later.
But nothing?
But yeah, nothing. That's just the craziest part. And it caused a lot of speculation because people were talking about how, you know, The Weeknd's going to perform at the Super Bowl next year and how his team and the Grammys, they were having negotiations about, you know, him performing at the Grammys. And I guess the Grammys found out, hey, you're going to be performing at the Super Bowl. Well, either you're going to perform at the Super Bowl or you're going to perform at the Grammys. And I guess that was their deal breaker. And they were just like, oh, he's going to perform at the Super Bowl, so we're not going to nominate him for anything. Don't know how true that is, but yeah, that's just the speculation. And even The Weeknd, someone who doesn't even talk, spoke out.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, too. I mean, the Grammys, they have a history of, I guess, not choosing the right winners, in my opinion. I mean, if you go back to a while back for, what was it, Best Rap Album, where it was like the Grammy nominations were Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, Drake, Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah, that was back in
Jay-Z,
2012, 2013?
Yeah. And then Jay-Z, Magna Carta.
Yeah.
But like the one that won was Macklemore, The Heist, which,
yeah,
I mean, whatever happened to Macklemore, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, another example, 2 years ago, I mean, Cardi B winning Rap Album of the Year, like, come on. Compared to Astroworld and I also like Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone, and there are a couple other good albums. Oh, Daytona, right? Pusha T. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't really surprise me that they've basically screwed up their nods, and because they just have a history of not picking the right people. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, just getting back to The Weeknd, when he said, when he spoke out, he said, the Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency. He also said that collaboratively planning a performance for weeks to not being invited, in my opinion, 0 nominations equals you're not invited. So there was definitely something that went down between him and his team and the Grammys. But yeah, the Grammys just, I don't know what it is. I don't know who's doing the voting. And it's crazy because, you know, we're both in arts management. And a lady that actually works with the Grammys, she came to the College of Charleston and she did a panel and she talked about the voting process. I wish I could remember her name, and I wish I could tell you all that she said, what goes into the voting process. But it's a very strategic process, I believe. But yeah, the Grammys just make you scratch your head. Like, to go back to that year, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and Jay-Z were nominated. Like, Take Care, Good Kid, Mad City, Magna Carta, going up against The Heist, Macklemore. It's like,
or There's Nothing Was the Same.
Oh, was it Nothing Was the Same?
Yeah, that year.
Okay,
Drake won the
Take. Drake did win the Take Care one. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
But still, in Macklemore, like, he had some hit songs like Thrift Shop. You know,
that was a banger.
Yeah, that was a bop for sure. But I don't know. And then, you know, when you talked about Cardi B, that album, it wasn't a bad record. Like, there's some good songs on it, but it's not better than Astroworld and Daytona and some of the other rap albums that were out that year, in my opinion. And then even when Beyonce's Lemonade was up for Album of the Year, I believe, one time, and it went up against Adele's 25. Adele's 25 is a solid album, but that Lemonade album like ruled the whole summer. Mm-hmm. Like I don't remember, people were talking about Beyonce's Lemonade for months,
right?
And another snob was Kendrick Lamar being robbed of To Pimp a Butterfly for Album of the Year. Or did that? Because I don't even think that got nominated.
Did that one not get nominated?
I don't think it did. I think it won Best Rap Album, but it didn't.
It wasn't nominated for Best Album of the Year?
Yeah, and everybody, unless you were living under a rock, everybody knows how good
that album is. Yeah, I mean, people still consider it to be like the greatest album of the 2010s, easily. But yeah, you're right. I mean...
Oh, I was wrong. I was right. It did get nominated for Best Album of the Year. It just didn't win.
Oh.
I forgot who won that year.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think it was Beck.
Oh, really? Beck?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What?
See, that's the thing. Like, when people win Album of the Year at the Grammys, a lot of times you don't remember who won. Like,
Beck?
The only one that I know who won... The only one that I can remember for sure that won in past years was Bruno Mars in the 24 Karat Magic album, because that was a good album.
Yeah, that was a great album.
Hold on, let me look this up. Beck,
and I mean, I just think it's funny how I guess that image of Kanye peeing on his Grammy award was circulating on Twitter. Because I mean, like, Kanye, he's a crazy guy, but like he is right about the Grammys and how they just rob artists of their talent. Well, not their talent, but like of getting the awards that they deserve, you know? And I mean, do you remember a few years ago when Drake was talking about the Grammys and trashing them at the Grammys? Yeah. Or no, it was Billboard, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
He's just talking about award shows in general. And he was just saying something about how, you know, if you have a solid fan base and, you know, you got great songs, then, you know, what do you need an award for to solidify, you know?
Okay.
But,
I was wrong. So it's weird because they always do the Grammys. The way they nominate is the year after the albums were released. But anyway, in 2016, Adele won Best Album of the Year with her album 25.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly was nominated that year.
Right.
In 2017, Lemonade was nominated. Lemonade by Beyonce was nominated, but it didn't win.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just kind of weird how they do it. It's really confusing. But yeah, to talk about Drake, like, yeah, I believe that was the Grammys that he was talking about, because he was holding a Grammy in his hand, giving his speech, and
yeah, and he was just trashing them. Well, not like he was like, I wouldn't say he was trashing them.
Like,
he was just criticizing.
Yeah,
them.
He wasn't like trashing, but he was just being honest, like, because you know the Grammys, the people who are deciding who wins are. That's the thing. Who's on that board? But
yeah, exactly.
It's like, because music is so biased, man.
Yeah, it's so
everybody
subjective.
has their Everybody has their own taste. Everybody has their own, you know, music that they like. So I think to even put a certain amount of people in a boardroom and have them decide, oh, this was the best album of the entire year, I just think that's unfair to a lot of artists, not just mainstream artists, but underground artists and things like that. And, you know, I'm all for awarding the best artwork, like the best project that was pure art, but it just seems like they're not even doing that. And then it seems like they're not even awarding the most popular album. So like, what's the criteria for best album at the Grammys?